Kolbrin Bible, Book 6, Book of Morals and Precepts, Chapter 30, Discretion, NPR 31. Discretion and caution are not akin to cowardice. Even the ants march armed. It is wise to cross the field before you abuse the bull, and learn to swim before you rock the boat. NPR 32. Go not into a gathering of men when in the mood to fight, and their temper tends toward strife. Avoid doing what many others are doing, for if the crew become too many, the boat sinks. NPR 33. Sharpened knives come readily to the hands of those who would oppose entry by the unbidden. It is unwise to seek entrance otherwise than by invitation and at the proper time. NPR 34. Before opening your mouth in the presence of others, be clear in your thoughts, and when you speak, weigh your words carefully, and use them sparingly. Words once spoken take wings and cannot be recaptured. Be reserved, for if you tell everyone your affairs, they will be taken out of your hands. NPR 35. Examine the circumstances of every deed and its possible outcome before you embark upon any course of action. It is folly to open your mouth or to undertake anything until the consequences have been fully weighed. Thus, disgrace will never overshadow your path, nor shame enter the door of your dwelling. With discretion directing your steps, remorse will be unknown, and never will sorrow for your deeds bear heavily upon your shoulders. NPR 36. Let prudence always walk by your side. Her voice speaks with words of wisdom, and her hand will ever guide you safely along the paths of right. She will guard you from the blows of disaster and shield you from the winds of affliction. NPR 37. Give ear to her soft counsels of prudence, and write them on the tablets of your heart. She is the mother of all virtues, and the guardian of content. NPR 38. Accept no favor from the rash man, and no benefit from the vain one. They seek but to gratify their selfish feelings, and their motive is vanity, and their end self-importance. NPR 39. Discretion, prudence, and diligence do not bring success unfailingly, for such is contrary to the law. Earthly success is not the inevitable attendant of he who serves the purpose of life. NPR 3010. Refuse the favors of the mercenary man, for they are toils not easily discarded. NPR 3011. Never hasten swiftly to attain that which will be advantageous. The prudent man hastens slowly. Never create the circumstances which will destroy an advantage or opportunity. NPR 3012. That which is gained by haste will be quickly lost, but that which is gained cautiously will be retained. Remember, too, that goods and gold, like weapons of war, require careful handling. NPR 3013. Weigh all things you do in your heart, and shape not your course by the tongue. Even if the tongue of a man be the helm of a boat, as is declared in the new writings, it is still the heart which is the lookout in the bows. NPR 3014. A prudent man keeps knowledge concealed behind his tongue, but the tongue of a fool declares his folly. The man who speaks without thought is led astray by his tongue. He is trapped in the mesh of his foolish words. NPR 3015. Judge all men with discretion and reserve, without haste and without prejudice. Judge no man by the talk in the marketplace, but as he appears in your eyes. The marketplace popularity of a man is no recommendation. NPR 3016. Be prudent in your dealings with all men, and that you may be respected for your honesty. Turn your plow at the edge of the field, and drive no furrow across the boundary of another. Let your cattle not stray from your own pastures. NPR 3017. Better one measure of land, which is yours by deed, than 1,000 measures acquired by deceit and dishonesty. NPR 3018. There is a time for boldness and a time for discretion. Therefore hasten to gather thee wisdom to know one from the other. For none but those who have done so will live in peace and prosper. NPR 3019. Fools rush into the marshlands and perish, but the wise test every step and pass through. None but a fool stands under a leaning wall. NPR 3020. Be courageous and cautious, not courageous and foolhardy, for foolishness can counter the most courageous deeds. NPR 3021. The greatest attribute of man, that which sets him apart from the beast of the field and forest, the most dangerous and discomforting gift of God is free will. Yet it is the golden promise of Godhood. Therefore, at all times, leaven your deeds with caution, and measure them with prudence, as a guide. For as the whirlwind raises the sweeping sandstorm that overwhelms the works of men, so does the irresponsible voice of the multitude overwhelm reason and those who listen to it without judgment. NPR 3022. Seek the true meaning behind the words which fall from the tongue. See if truth be in the heart of the speaker or only her shadow. Let your life be governed by reason and experience, so that if failure attend your enterprise, you answer for it to none but yourself.